Hey guys, it's me again, Shakira G, back with another video. If you would like to see how I did these jumbo lemonade braids for my big cousin, then stay tuned. So first thing I'm doing is using my braid gel to slick the hair. I press before I French braid because it's more seamless for me and it actually lasts longer. My clients say that the braids last longer and they just look neater when the hair is pressed. So I press before I braid. And I use a braiding gel to do my braids. I forgot the brand, but you will see the jar in the video. I know that I was out of frame for a while. I'm just starting to do these videos, guys, so just bear with me. I will get better as we go. And all I do is take little pieces from my cousin's hand. Since I'm left hand, I'm taking from the left side, and I just add a little piece as I go. Every ridge of my braid, I add a piece underneath, and I make sure that the piece gets larger as the braid gets larger. Another tip is to just take your time. Don't allow anybody to rush you. If you have someone that's a rushiana, let them know that it takes time to do these things, and when they come, be prepared to sit for a while. If they want the best work, they have to sit for it. Here you see me doing the same thing, just slicking out the part, and as I go, I don't do a real rough press on the hair unless it needs to be done, but I use my braiding gel. I forgot the name of this braiding gel, gosh, but you'll see the jar in the video. And I slick the hair really good, and I use an ample amount of braid gel because it just helps me to keep the braid more intact and neat. And as you can see, every ridge I'll add a small piece of hair in the beginning. The smaller the pieces are in the beginning, the more natural it'll look. But you have to build the piece up, the sizes of the pieces as you go with the braid, and that's how you create that small to large look with your Feedin braids. But I will have better videos to come in the future. But this is just my first braiding video, and it was just hard for me to find an angle to do this video, but just bear with me, guys. As you can see, the videos will get better and better, and as I see the mistakes, they will be fixed. Now what I was doing is doing one big braid and one little braid, and then I'll connect them together because I thought this would be cute on my cousin. This is my big cousin, y'all. Believe it or not, she's tiny, but she's my big cousin. Yeah, she's older than me. And when we braid the smaller braid, I use very tiny pieces. And I have my cousin to hold my hair. I know there's a lot of people that partition the hair off like on a tray, or they'll use the braid pole thing. I have the braid pole thing and everything. I just don't like using it. I'm so used to taking it from my client, and since I'm left hand, it's harder for me to find a space to put the hair to braid. I don't know if any left-handed braiders have this issue, but I do. So I just always take from the left side, and it's just easier for me this way. And as you go down, one thing you'll notice, like when you're doing feed-in braids, it gets larger, and then when it comes to the end, it gets smaller because of the pre-stretched hair. So the pre-stretched hair pieces are just to give it a more natural look and to help you to not have to stretch the hair out before you braid. Because when I was younger, we had to stretch the hair out naturally, but since it's pre-stretched, it gives it a more natural look. That's what makes it skinny towards the end. So if you're wondering why your braids are big and bulky, it's probably because you're buying hair that's not pre-stretched. And this tends to be the best hair to use, is pre-stretched hair. I don't really have a preference. Well, I do have a preference. I prefer rasta-free hair, pre-stretched hair in the green pack, because I just feel like it just works for me. But other people use other hair. I mean, if it works for you, it is what it is. But this is what I like to use because I feel like it just helps my braids to look neater, and the hair, the coarseness of the hair usually matches textured hair. So I like it personally, but I know other people, they use different brands. And here I am going in. Since the middle of the hair is more thick, I used a hot comb to hit it a little bit more as I braid. And I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best, y'all. But like I said, once again, I'm telling you, as soon as I get into the groove of stuff, it's about to be over. And actually, like when I part as well too, I like to use the braid gel where I part as well. And here's a tip as well: when you're using the hot comb, make sure that the hair cools down a little bit before you use the edge, the braiding gel, because you don't really want it to have this melted look. And I put that gel on the part to make sure that my parts are real precise, and that helps me to do that as well. When you're doing the middle braid, make sure that you're using smaller subsections, because these braids tend to get fuller because of how much density most people have in the middle of their hair. That will help you for your braids to be more consistent. For me, I had to take some hair out of the middle braid because it was big and bulky compared to the others, and that's because the hair is more full in the middle. So be conscious of that as you braid if you want braids to be more cohesive and even. Well, here I am towards the front now. I'm still a bit out of frame, but you could pretty much get the concept of what I'm doing. We're doing small to big braids. I'm using small pieces of hair and I'm building up as I go. And towards the ends, I use small pieces of hair again so it could have that thin to full to thin look. It just looks more natural that way. And here I am at the top. Like I told you, I braid under, and it's easier for me to tuck the braid when you braid under, in my opinion. But, different strokes for different folks. And also, I put some individuals underneath my lemonade braids for fullness and also for comfortability to my client, because usually when you braid a lemonade hairstyle and you're doing it just all French braid, it could be a lot of tension on the edge and uncomfortable for the client. But when you add individuals underneath, you add fullness to the side that the hair is hanging from, and you also ease, give them less pressure on their head. But I've been told many a times from numerous clients that I don't hurt, my braids don't hurt after I'm done. So that's a good thing. I feel like beauty doesn't have to hurt. People always say beauty hurts, but not necessarily. If you know what you're doing, you can finesse. But some people are just tenderhead, but for the most part, my clients do not complain about me hurting their heads. You see my cousin taking this braid out because I didn't feel like it was full enough. Like I told you guys, it's not that it's like trial and error, but if something doesn't look right to you, take it down and do it over. I don't care about timing when it comes to me, putting in my best work. And I feel like that should, it's good to be quick. I'm not taking away from people that are quick and efficient, but if you're quick and you're not efficient, where are you getting with that? So just take your time, guys, and do your best work every time. My lemonade braids that I'm doing today are more to the side because my cousin wanted it to be that way. She didn't want it all in her face, in which I understand because that could be annoying. But there's some people that like all that smoke and want it all over their eye, but she's not one of them. So that's why you see that the braids are going more to the side than in her face. Ta-da! Now I finished that top portion, and now I'm going in and I'm going to be braiding this hair down and putting curl rods at the end to dip and give you that curl effect that you seen in the beginning of the video. And this hair, I love it. It looks so nice on her. I tell her she has nice hair that's braidable. I call it braidable because it's not too thick, it's not too thin, and it's filled out. She's been using my anointed hair oil, and her edges have grown back really well for her, even though she uses it sparsely, and I told her to use it more. It's been working on her behalf, and you can see the braids came out wonderful. This hair isn't even dipped yet, and it just looks really, really neat. I'm satisfied, and that's what you want to shoot for. You want the customer to be 100% satisfied. What you see me doing right here is connecting the braids bringing the braids closer together because they have gaps, and my cousin didn't want it to look gappy, so I went and got some needle and thread and do my finessing. Finesse. Make sure that these braids stay together and not split apart. And you know, that's really like one of the keys to what you guys see in these videos when you see people braid super close together. If the hair is not full or they don't know how to use enough hair, this is a trick that you can use if you have a problem with having gaps between your braids and you want them closer together. You can try this, but don't kill your client's head. Make sure that you're asking them, does it hurt? Is it hurting? I like to ask these questions as I go and as I braid. Am I braiding too tight? Or are you feeling this? But I'm very, very light on the hands. That's why all my clients have their edges, and I'm sure they could attest to that. If I have any clients that's watching this video, you can attest to that. I'm sure you can. And I make sure that everything that I do, that it's my best. Also, like I told you, I put the curl rods at the bottom of the hair. We dipped it, and that was pretty much the whole process. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me with these videos, and there's more to come. I just hope that you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share. And God bless you guys. Hope to see you again.